Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy XIV on the PC. We are in... Whoa, that was some weird lag. We're in Yulmore right now. Very fanciful, decadent kingdom, city. Surrounded by squalor and despair. A tale as old as time, really. Mask of the Red Death and all that. We've weaseled our way in with Alphino being a painter for this wealthy couple, and we are his assistant, I guess. Now you've the opportunity to experience Yulmore. I suggest you make the most of it. Explore the city, top to bottom. In other words, I would start with the canopy and go from there. Try wandering around the market stalls, mayhap. Such places are usually filled with colorful characters, only too eager to share local gossip with a friendly visitor. I would appreciate it, of course, if you could share any discoveries with me in turn. We should both learn as much as possible about our new place of residence. Oh, hello there. Fresh register, are we? You seem a little lost. Well, 'tis lovely to make your acquaintance. Speaking of acquaintances, you wouldn't happen to have run into my attendant on your wanderings, would you? Big, strong lad, long hair, tied back. He was escorting me on a shopping errand when I realized I dropped my handkerchief. Now I've been waiting here all alone while he's been off searching for it. I'm not terribly fond of being alone. If you do see him, I would be obliged if you could pass on this message. Forget the silly handkerchief and return to my side at once. So I logged in today, and my sprout symbol was gone. Missing, absent, gone. I guess once you hit 15 days playtime, they're like, all right, enough is enough, man. You're not a new adventurer anymore. I could probably put it back on if I wanted, but I don't know. I'm a little conflicted. Wicked white, that was too close. Thank you, friend. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along. I was trying to rescue my lady's handkerchief, you see. The wind must have blown it over the edge, but luckily it caught on something. I thought if I could just stretch out far enough. You risked your life for a scrap of cloth? It's not just a scrap of cloth, not if it belongs to her. I would risk my life and more to spare my mistress but a single moment of sadness. When I first came to Yulmore, I thought only of improving my lot in life. But there was so much more to the city than wealth and plenty. There is no war here, no conflict. The residents all treat each other with warmth and respect. My mistress has been ever so kind to me, and I can think of no other place in Kalusia where I could possibly be happier. Sorry, I might have gotten a bit carried away. I find it hard to stop when I start counting my blessings these days. Please, you should come with me to meet my lady. Once she hears of your deed, you'll be witness to her generosity firsthand. What? Lonely, you say? Curse my clumsy feet. I must return to her immediately. Okay, dude. My attendant told me everything. I'm so very grateful you were there to offer your assistance. You value him highly, then. As if he were a member of my own family. I could not live the wonderful life I lead without him. We free citizens owe the bonded our unending gratitude. Mayhap in another society, our different standing would breed prejudice or resentment, But in Yulemoor, a most glorious measure is in place to avert such unpleasantness. Part of that measure requires that the free surrender their fortunes. Upon registration, all our property, financial, intellectual, or otherwise, is given over to the city. In exchange, we are provided with ample funds and commodities to live a life of pampered luxury. Being liberated from the concern of earning coin has an almost miraculous effect on people's outlook. There are no rivals to compete against, only fellow residents with whom to enjoy our tranquil existence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must see what the markets have to offer as a reward for the return of my handkerchief. Oh, and I've not forgotten you, of course, our courageous messenger turned rescuer. Right, but how does this place stay in business? All this talk of relying on the bonded, and I haven't given a thought as to what your duties might be. I hope I haven't interrupted your work unduly. A tour of the city, is it? Then you really must visit the beehive. It's always buzzing with activity. Local humor. Anyway, a lady by the name of Tistabai usually has her seat near the entrance. She will gladly speak with you on any number of topics, assuming you find yourself on her good side. I mean, there's only so many wealthy people left alive. Eventually that money will dry up. They don't produce any, like, food or anything. They don't... I don't know. Seems like this isn't really sustainable. Welcome to the beehive, my little drone. Seeking the sting of excitement to liven up your day? I can tell at a glance when folk are new to our happy colony. It's a nervous fluttering, you see. Always gives them away. Why don't we play some cards to set you at ease, eh? A quick game of high or low. Simply a matter of guessing who has the bigger hand. If you win, I'll grant you a single favor. Within reason, of course. Interested? Ready for a game of high or low, then? Let's play. Good for you. No time like the present, I say. What are the rules? Oh, God. 3 cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flip one of yours over, and I flip 2 of mine. Yeah, you know, back in Eorzea, we got a much better game called the Triple Triad. Now, what's your call? Will your total be higher or lower than mine? Let's see. She's sitting on 9 with 1 card to go. I'm sitting on 7 with 2 cards to go. I think she'll be lower. Unless I meant that mine's going to be lower. My cards add up to 12 and you have a total of 13. No, okay. So I meant that I was going to be... I need to pick high. I'm basing everything on my card. I probably should have listened to the rules. Alright. Oh, will your total be higher or lower than mine? Okay, yeah. Well, I'm going to go with low. Oh, I think we won. What a very fair game. Congratulations, your guess was right. Usually I'd concede defeat at this point, but what do you say to a rematch? 1 more win, then we'll talk about that favor. Okay. Yeah. It's no triple triad. Oh, I wonder what I'm gonna pick. Now, if I lose this, then it's really just bullshit. There you go. Well, would you look at that? I think you've got a knack for this, newcomer. Congratulations. Victory is yours, as is the prize I promised. Come whisper in my ear, then, and don't be shy. Tell old Tista what she can do for you. That's all. How delightfully wholesome. But if knowledge is what you want, then that is what you shall have. In my humble estimation, the most wondrous thing about this town is how safe we are from the sin-eaters. They say Lord Vothry was born with the power to command them, which means no Yulmoran needs ever raise a weapon in defense of the city. Was that the kind of thing you wish to know? If your itch still needs scratching, you might get a few words out of Atharn over there. Atharn. There's naught that merry sot likes more than the sound of his own voice. What's that? New to Yulmore, you say? Ha ha ha. Only just arrived, and already you're looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting, but you need to slow down and enjoy life, my friend. I tell you what, you hop up on stage and give us a dance first, and then we can have our little talk. What the fuck? Slayer of gods and men and savior of Eorzea, and this is what I'm fucking strip dancing. Alright, man, if that's what you need. If that's what you need to get your rocks off, I'll give you a merry jig. That's the way. Dance like there's no tomorrow. We're gonna murder this guy. Whew. Now that was a show. You're welcome to clamber up on stage anytime you like. So, what was it you wanted to ask me? Ah, yes, something about our fair city. Well, I can tell you it wasn't always so peaceful as it is today. The Yulmoran army may be the very essence of military might, but even our forces saw grievous losses in the war against the Sin Eaters. Things changed for us, around 20 years ago now, when the old ruler's son came to power. He's got this way with the Eaters, you see, turns them docile as house cats. I wouldn't be exaggerating to say they become something of an ally to Yulmore, no longer an enemy to be feared. And yet elsewhere there are still fools who insist on fighting their losing battles. Ha! A toast to Lord Vothry. Okay. Who is this Lord Vothry? How does he do the things that he does? What is happening? Will we ever really know? Yes. Yes, we will. Oh, you've returned from your jaunt around the city. So soon. You needn't have hurried back. Young Alphino has yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot rush good art, I'm told. Or good artists, apparently. Ah, finally. I've put together an ensemble out of the garments you chose. Is this satisfactory? Oh, goodness gracious me! That last outfit was precious, but this makes you look positively dashing. You truly are a handsome boy. However am I to decide? Oh, I don't recall this part of the artistic process. Exactly. The lad is an artist, dearest, not a dress-up doll. It's about time we set him to work for the reason we called him here. Must we? I do love a good painting, but I thought since we were enjoying ourselves so thoroughly... Well, I'd not... That is to say, as long as you... just make sure you give the lad time to prepare. We know who'll be upset if he's not ready to paint at a moment's notice. Whatever you say, darling. So, shall we pick out some jewelry next? Okay. I don't know if Alphino really needs such, like, triumphant music. Blessed instrument. Lady Chai has a very particular sense of beauty, and apparently that extends to how I should dress whilst painting. But this obsession of her works in our favor. The time I spend indulging these distractions is time you can use to continue your explorations. For this excursion, I'd like you to delve into the lair below us and sniff about the military headquarters. I'm sure the understory has its own tale to tell. Let us run. It sort of makes you wonder why they even have an Aetheryte in this city, since it doesn't seem like anybody really ever leaves. And Aetherytes are usually only used by adventurers. Oh, there we go. Weeping Warbler. Sob Sniff. You're one of the bonded, aren't you? Like me. Please, I need your help. My throat, I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's just not getting any better. If my patron thinks I'm of no use to him, then... I need you to sneak out to the derelicts and describe my condition to Thoraric. Here's a list of symptoms and a hunk of meal to pay for his medicines. Please, I have no one else to turn to. Okay. Is this a door? No. No, of course not. But I think we can Ethernet back to the front gate. The Glory Gate, as it's known. Yeah. Yeah, I know all about Glory Gates. Wow, this is really a shithole here, man. They just toss out all sorts of shit. But they put an Ethernet shard out here. Hey, you need medicines, tonics, potions? A cure for an alien voice, is it? No, no medicine will cure this. Methinks your songbird has a lump in her throat. It must be cut out, excised, and even then the voice may never heal completely. Hee, poor little songbird. Will they kick her from the nest, I wonder, or simply silence her chirps? Oh, your face. You didn't know? Of the many hopefuls who enter the city, very few are ever seen to leave, even as corpses. Oh, you might see one or two fortunate fools hurled from the balconies, but the rest... gone. Town of nightmares it is. Not for this ship's rat, oh no. I am content to scurry around down here and nibble on the crumbs which fall from the table. This consultation is over. You have my verdict and I have my meal. Good day. Well, now I'm not sure. Maybe meal is made from people, although I just don't think that's... They can't kill that many people. And you don't get that much. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't really add up. Did you get my medicine? Yeah, about that. So that's it? What am I to do if I can't sing? Ah, there you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... So you've been suffering all this time. I'm sorry, my pet. I hadn't realized your affliction was this grave. But you needn't fret. I'll not reward your hours of trilling by casting you out into the street. This guy's face looks like it's made of bread dough. You are too kind, sir. But what use am I if I cannot sing? I fear the day I become more burden to you than treasure. And I shall have a word with Lord Vothry and arrange for your ascension. In that paradise where resides neither pain nor illness will your song ring out clearly once again. Mayhap you think it a step too far. No, you would do that for me? Of course. Why, I would almost wish to hasten my own ascension, knowing your blessed instrument was waiting there to greet me. Ascension? Ah, you must be a new arrival. Allow me to explain. As all know, the Sin-Eaters exist to devour the sinful, but also do they serve to gather the souls of the innocent and shepherd them unto celestial paradise. It is through Lord Vothry that we learn this truth. It is through Lord Vothry's grace that the free people of Yulmore are destined to embrace salvation. We are blessed to spend our days surrounded by love and merriment, until at last we are called to our final rapture. Even the bonded may find a place within that host, should their patrons deem them worthy. Lord Vothry truly is a great man, isn't he? Now, if you'll excuse us, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you have shown my precious canary. Okay, it's food. People are food. The people are food. That much is very clear. Which, I mean, it's not particularly, like, shocking or original. Now, if they were taking these people and putting them in, like, breeding pits or something and then killing the babies and making them into food or something, I mean, that would be a little bit more shocking. It's good to see you back. You were taking so long, I began to worry something had happened. I've begun sketching an outline for the portrait, but... Nay, the Chais appear otherwise occupied. Will you share what your investigations have gleaned thus far? So, Lord Vothry boasts some manner of influence over the Sin-Eaters, does he? That would explain the reverence in which he is held by the citizenry. And as for this ascension business, I cannot help but be put in mind of that apothecary and his ominous remarks. If so many folk have entered the city over the years, then where do they go? Yeah, we get it. We get it now. Emergent splendor. I take my eye off you for one moment and you're chattering away with that assistant of yours. Am I to assume the outline is done then? What in the blazes? It's pretty good. It's so unflattering. Explain yourself, Alphino. Where is your artistic interpretation? It should evoke images of affluence and nobility and overwhelm the viewer with its boundless beauty. Lord Chai, you stated that this portrait was to commemorate your anniversary. Yours being a joyous union, it seemed to me that a realistic portrayal... Realistic? I don't want realism, I want perfection. A spectacle to slacken jaws and weaken knees, to make people cry out in amazement. Now fetch a blank canvas and... I say, did that come from above? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A tale to make you quiver and your noble blood freeze. There was a villain on the loose, set to ruin our fair city. But our Lord has got him now, and his fate will not be pretty. Yes, the hammer of justice is poised to come crashing down, and one and all who'd watch it fall are invited to join his lordship in the offer. A malcontent? How dreadful! And this man is to face sentencing. That's right. In fact, if you're curious, it might be worth you going along for the experience. The offer they mention is part of the Emergent, the level above us where Lord Vothry resides. Ordinarily, you would be barred from entering, but it seems they'll be opening its doors for the next little while. The Crown lift will take you up there. We'd better not dawdle then. I feel like it's deliberately annoying that those jesters don't always rhyme. Like, they rhyme sometimes where you'd expect them to rhyme all the time. And so it's just, like, extra annoying, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Joining the crowd up there.
That's him. That's Vothry.
Oh my god.
He's attended by sin eaters. But how does he keep them from attacking?
Mercy! Mercy!
By the 12. Kaishia, what happened to you?
Who are these impudent louts? I do not recall requesting their presence.
Lord Vothry, what is the meaning of this? Why is this poor man bleeding to death on your floor?
Wow.
Why? You ask me why? Because criminals must be punished. And this man is guilty of fraud. He came to us, claiming to be a man of business. Yet his subsequent conduct has shown him to be anything but. Yulmore is a city built on love for one's fellow man. Those who have naught to give and live only to take are a blight upon our society! To atone for this crime, I ordered that he fling himself from the balcony. And he had the temerity to weep. Please, my lord, anything but that. What then is a man of mercy to do, but offer the sinner another way to show his contrition?
Another way? Meaning what exactly?
Sin eaters are part of Yulmore's society, but they must be fed with ether. Living ether. So, I demanded an offering of flesh, carved by his own hand, from his own hide. And still, he could not do as I asked. A wholly unsatisfactory performance.
'Tis true that Kaishia won his place here by fraud. but his actions were driven only by a desire to share in your paradise. That you would cast him out, I could almost accept. But to humiliate him thus? To demand his very life? Is this truly the way of Yulmore?
Oh, you dim, deluded child. Have you ever paused to consider what it takes to maintain such a paradise in this barren, broken world of ours? The guarantee of safety and stability. The knowledge that if one only abides by the rules, one has naught to fear. I alone can offer these things, for I alone can command the Sin Eaters. And thus am I alone the voice of justice, and any who oppose me, villains to be punished.
And people call this paradise.
You were granted a place in my city for a particular skill. What was it?
Painting.
Oh, an artiste! Then you shall paint a picture for me of Yulmore. If I find your art pleasing, then I may excuse this display of insolence. Who gave you permission to tend to that criminal's wounds? I told you to paint me a picture!
What you need is a mirror, not a painting. It will capture the horror I see before me far better than I ever could. Can you walk?
I think so. Did that little worm just insult me? I'll kill them! I'll kill them all! I'll leave their minds! I'll torment them! Torture them! Then tear out their hearts!
Whoops. Forgot to unmute my microphone after the phone call. Okay. Forgive me. In my anger, I seem to have marched us back outside again, though it is probably best we leave the island altogether. I believe we've worn out our welcome in Yulmore. In any case, I've seen enough of the world's self-proclaimed capital city to convince me that our battle against the Sin Eaters will find few allies in Kalusia. I will accompany you back to the Crystarium. We need to regroup and think on our strategy anew. Kaishir, I have done you a grave disservice. You were hungry and desperate, and I offered you a solution without once considering the risks inherent in you accepting it. If I had but known the price you would be made to pay. You gave me everything I needed to make your idea work. It was me who made a mess of things, not you. But even after all the trouble I caused, you still stepped in and saved me, and now Lord Vothri wants us all dead. Why not come back with us to the Crystarium? I am certain we can find work for you there, if you are willing. No, that would just be me leaning on your kindness again. I need to do some thinking, learn how to stand on my own 2 feet. Very well, but you must promise you'll be careful. The Ilmorans may yet come looking for us. I'll keep my head down, don't worry. And you take care too. Give me the chance to repay what you've done for me. Elfino. Lord and Lady Chai. What in the blazes did you do? They have the entire city looking for you. I took a peek at your unfinished portrait, Elfino. Now I've had many a beautiful and striking picture painted for me, but there was something about your work. It was as if you had caught the very essence of our love and rendered it naked upon the canvas. It was bold, unflinching, and I adored it. Please, you must come back with us and finish what you began. I will speak with Lord Vothri and vouch for your character. I'm sure we can smooth over any hard feelings. I am sorry, Lady Chai. There are more important matters to which I must attend. More important? What could be more important than enjoying the days we have left to us to the fullest? Pray press me no further. We are leaving, but I would not presume to take the garments you were so kind as to procure for me. One moment. I wouldn't hear of it. Keep the clothes, you silly boy. I insist. And I shall make arrangements so you can pass through the gate without causing a stir. I expect you to come and visit. I will return. I promise you that. The outrage I witnessed must not go unanswered. The next time we meet, I shall be better prepared to confront the corruption which hides behind the glittering facade. Okay. Wonder if that means we can use the Aetheryte. I'm gonna check. Well, that was a waste of time. Thank you, my friend, for staying at my side through this whole sordid endeavor. While it's not quite the joyous outcome I had hoped for, our efforts have nevertheless answered a great many questions. Suffice it to say, our plans for saving the First are unlikely to involve the aid of Lord Vothri and his subjects. Come, we must speak with the Exarch and chart a new course. This is far from over. Okay, that'll wrap up Alphino. It is good to be back amongst friends. In such company, I can finally turn my thoughts to the future. But ere we discuss all we have learned and begin planning our next step, I think it best that you visit Alize. Her familiarity with Arang will no doubt provide us invaluable insight, and besides, I know she is as eager to see you as I was. Bring a smile to her face, Mangg. You got it. Search of Alize. Ready to depart for Arang. Alize will be overjoyed to see you safe. I know she was particularly concerned for your well-being. She, impressed upon me how regrettable the timing of her summoning was, repeatedly. I only hope that my part in sending you to her will garner me some measure of forgiveness. Here, this is a letter of introduction addressed to a man named Cassard, the master of a merchant caravan. There are few who know the ways of the desert as well as he does. Find him at the Amaro launch, and he will see that you reach your destination. We'll see how interesting the arid waste can be. If you come looking for work, I might have a spot for another guard. Nope. Oh, a friend of the Exarch. Hoping to meet someone in Amarang, are you? And I shall be your guide. I was about to set off for our outpost there, as a matter of fact, so we can leave right away, assuming you have everything you need. Yeah. Off to the unforgiving sands.
Arang. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Arang, once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Arang meant majestic land in the language of his people. And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
Yep, this looks like how I expected it to look. Oh, no matter how many times I come here, the cold never fails to catch me off guard. The sky may be as bright as in the scorching hours of day, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inn at Journey's Head, which is where this Alizé friend of yours is staying. Now, that's a fair old distance. I propose we make a stop in Mord Souk to break up the trek, allowing me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot, I'm off, and I'd better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Alright, we head southwest, straight as an arrow. Alright. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm thrilled by the locale, but at least it is like a desert. It's not just brown rocks. That's something different. That is a fucking cactuar right there. Oh my god. Jesus. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Amarang, is it not? Before you cross the River of Sand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. Admire the view. Okay. Yeah. I've seen better. They built him big, didn't they? That's Qasr Sharl, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Nabath Arang. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when they say that it was once one of Norvrant's mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along. Great chunks of Nabath Arang's lands were lost to the light, its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many choose to come here these days, not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking great fortress has become little more than an Amaro roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is as deserted as this place. Just wait until you see Mord Souk. Let's press on, shall we? Let's do that. Desert where it's always bright out, but it still gets cold. Interesting. I think the tortoise is appropriate for this place. Music's cool, I like it. Here we are, Mordsuk. By the blessed shadow, I love this town. Mordsuk, not just full of Mord, but Humes and all manner of others, too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Now, have you met a Mord before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you could never wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gengen. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. Oh, so these are the kobolds. Let's get attuned, of course, since I assume you don't need special permission here. That's a kobold.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Mordsuk.
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too, many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Mordsouk's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Mord dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mord do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Mord philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Mord says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer. I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny. Over here!
Come and look.
You buy, you buy?
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots! Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
Do I want to eat what Ron is serving? Guess we'll find out. Welcome to Ronron's, traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes? Okay. Bread, meat, worms, skewers. You know what? Normally I'd go with meat, but I'm gonna be real safe and just pick the, I guess it's like naan. I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. Okay, what's the meat like? That's my ever-burning bounty, made with the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights. Okay, skewers. Oh, you'll like those. Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks. Spear with stick, then roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. God damn it. Everyone's favorite. Plump white worm slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat. They all look tasty, yes? Which to choose? Which to choose? Yeah, I'll go with the meat. It sounded probably the thing that I would pick in real life if I was forced to. Yes, put some spice in your step. You won't feel the cold this night, and probably not the next one either. You have the gold? And done. 1 verbetit honor buys you 10 sides of lizard meat. Wonderful. I mean, I hope I cook it. Alright, just gulp down all 10 pieces of raw meat. What am I, a fucking idiot? Every last mouthful. What an appetite. What a belly. A new legend is born in Mordsuk. I probably, like, consumed my body weight. Consider your coin purse cracked. I'm pleased to accept your custom, and Gengen will be pleased that you honored ours. Keeping the merchandise down, yes? No returns. Well, that was pleasant. I was watching from here, Mangg. You honored our custom and with great relish. You'll always be welcome in Mordsuk. If you need anything in Amarang, we are here to provide. Working off the meal. You have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right. Now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Mordsuk. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye, well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market. All properly paid for. You just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of some last-minute haggling then. See you in a bit. Table cactus, iron ore, Nabatharang antiques. I don't know why I went up here. I can mount. That's good. Okay, there's a bunch of merchants. Here's the ore. Gassard sent you, did he? Right. Yes. What kind of ore was it again? Iron ore. It says right there. Iron ore, of course. That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours. Alright, we need to talk to Thonton. There he is. Came in with Cassard, yes? Good, good. I can finally stop thinking about that sack. Please take your prickly purchase. Okay. And Mulmul for Nabatharang Antiques. Hey, no touching. That merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my mind with a better offer. What, Cassard sent you? Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. Oh, no, no, no. Nabatharang relics, wasn't it? All packed in that box there. Handle with care. Okay. Simple as that for another 920,000 XP, which should give us that sweet, sweet level. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. Sure have. Aye, that's a lot, all right. Good work. Quick work, too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I thought you wanted to sit in a city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, our efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you return, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. Sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassard, feels like an age since I last saw you. Well, if it isn't the lovely Tesleen. It has been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This gentleman was on his way to meet with Alizé. I'm supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alizé has told me so much about you. You're Mangg, aren't you? I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've gotten to know Alizé quite well since she took up guard duties there. You want me to take over as Mangg's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. That would be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Amarang, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. Okay, and we got a 385 hand piece. I don't need that shit. Hey! 72 on the Scholar and the Summoner. Desert Crossing. Alizé has been desperate to see you, Mangg, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. We just need to swing around the ridge and head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. Well, most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance. The local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend him off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beast to try to make a meal of us? I thought you might. Alizé was always saying how much you... I mean, let's get going, shall we? Saying what? Saying what now? Listen to that music. Listen to that music. How you deal with that shit. Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. Yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alizé was strong, but in her mind, she was never... now it makes sense. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. Well, you are a distraction, I'll admit. Yeah, I know, ether current's right there, but it's just not worth the time. Trust me, I've done this multiple times now. No, god damn it. Okay, let's Manification, and we'll just Enchanted Moulinet. Enchanted Moulinet. 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 Might not have been the best use of my mana. It's hard to say. You took a beating. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. My red mage is only 71, slipping behind. That main scenario, roulette. That's what'll save us. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first let's head inside, shall we? Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alizé arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. The afflicted? Oh, I have some skill with healing. Why didn't I say that? You don't know? I don't think I've met anyone besides Alizé who was so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alizé give you the full explanation. Alright, let's do one more. following in her footsteps. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first. You might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. She will not come back while I'm gone. I will find her. That's how these things work. Now that's a little cooler. Look at that. Nice angle. Whoa. Alizé is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground. They look to be about the right size. Small footprints lead off to the northwest. The music makes up for sort of the blandness of this place. I like it. Footprints continue on to the northwest. Alright, we got Gilmans all over the place. I think I'm wanting to fight Gilmans. Footprints curve around to the west. There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand. Oh boy.
Get back here! Is that... It can't be. Ha!
Impressive.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner. How are you?
You know, I keep expecting her to just, like, cut off the ponytail and just, like, trim her bangs and just go with sort of a short hair look. And it just seems strange, like, as they grow older, they still maintain, like, the exact same look. Like, identical between the two twins. I mean, usually, you know, especially these two, which have really different personalities, you'd think they would, like... eventually change their hairstyles or something.
We've fought them to a standstill, then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where 1 would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason, which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
It's just a matter of time. More for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Alrighty. I'm gonna go attune. But we'll leave it off there for now. We have found Alizé, so we've got a handful more quests with her. And then we go back and we reconvene. And then we get to do a dungeon, actually. The first dungeon of Shadowbringers. Very exciting. I don't know if we'll get to that all in the next video, but things are happening. Things are on the way. My name is Mangg. Game watching has been Final Fantasy XIV. See you fine folks in the next part.